Hey, welcome to this edition of Talk of the Town. We are going to stop down here at the Sheriff's Office, Dr. Jeff Paden, our Guernsey County Sheriff, and we're going to visit, obviously, United Ambulance and talk with Jim Starr, the Director of United Ambulance, on this edition of Talk of the Town.
From the U.S. Bank Studios in downtown Cambridge, Ohio, it's Talk of the Town.
Hey, welcome to another episode of Talk of the Town, and we've been out talking to some first responders, and this episode we are going to talk to Jeff Paden, our Guernsey County Sheriff. And Jeff has been nice enough to bring us inside the place and show us what happens when they bring a person in, basically. So yeah, he's going to give us a tour. So Jeff Paden, how you doing? No shaking hands.
No shaking hands, elbow. That's tough for me, believe me. I'm an up close and person. Like to shake hands. Mom taught me to shake a hand and firm handshake. But what we're going to do is talk a little bit about the COVID, what we have to do at the office. In each area, we're going to show you the jail area. Then we're going to show you what we have to do up in dispatch, and then also CCWs. I can tell you this with our guys working the road, that we supply masks for them, and we supply masks for the prisoner that they're going to put behind them for safety reasons, and we will offer the mask to the prisoner. So that's the kind of things we do inside the cruiser for the guys and for the prisoner or the person we're transporting, so they know that they have an option to wear a mask also.
Okay. Hey, I think we're going to go inside here in a minute.
Yep, we're going to have to get our temperatures checked before we go in, and this is what we do with every inmate or every person coming into our building. We check their temperature, and we're going to have CO Knopf do that right now for us. And I'm distancing so you guys can hear me. Okay, you want to take their temperatures?
Hello, sir.
Want to take mine?
Good. How you doing?
Good.
You want to check me first?
I can check you.
All right.
You remember me, don't you?
Somewhat.
I'm Harry's son.
Yes, that's what I thought.
Yeah. Him and my dad used to harass the crap.
Oh, man.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I miss him a lot.
I do too.
Oh, buddy. Harry was a hoot.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
I do mine?
You win your lost.
Okay. So Todd does this with every inmate that comes in. We have a questionnaire form we do. We have to do that with every inmate coming in. Everything from if they've taken drugs within the last 24 hours to if they've been exposed to the COVID, if they know they have. We bring them inside. Of course, we have a scanner here. We'll show you that on the way in, that we scan every person that comes in for contraband. And then Todd and his group have to quarantine the best they can. And that's tough when you have a 66-bed jail and you have, we have about 90 in here today? About 90 people in here today. So our quarantine process is a little bit difficult, but I'll tell you, my staff does an awesome job. And Jim Stoney, my lieutenant who runs the jail, is doing a great job also. It's a big expense when the person says they have taken drugs. And then because we don't accept them in our jail because we're so overcrowded, that the agency that's bringing them, for instance, if it was Cambridge Police Department, Byesville, they have to take them and go get them medically cleared. We've had too many incidents where the guy said or woman said they've taken drugs within 24 hours and then they collapse inside our jail.
Okay, yeah.
So we just have to get them medically cleared for many reasons, mainly insurance reasons. And that's one of the reasons why we have that implemented.
Yeah, they're in your care, and you have that liability.
Yes,
so
sir.
That's great.
So let's show you the scanner.
All righty.
Todd, you got the door?
Thank you, sir.
This is a scanning system. We got this through a grant. And what happens is the person, when they come in, they'll walk over here to the scanner, stand on the scanner, and it'll take them back through and back. This way we know if they have any contraband on them. It'll show up on the scan. Before we had this, we had a lot of contraband coming into the jail. Since we got the scanner, which is about $120,000.
Wow.
But a grant covered that for us. This has slowed down contraband, which is drugs into jail and weapons and whatnot.
Yeah, it's very precise. The last guy just come in, he had a little coin in his pocket, and right there it was.
Yep.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That's very good.
Small room.
Oh, yeah.
We're trying.
Yes, we're keeping our mask on.
Okay.
So this is our intake process area. I'm going to take my mask off again. What we do is we bring them in, we ask them the series of questions that we need to, and this is where we will quarantine if they say they have COVID. These are holding cells up here. And over here, these are holding cells also. And when I say holding cells, we hold them in here until they get processed into jail. These are holding cells.
Are they empty?
No, there are people in them.
Okay.
That's why we have the curtains
I
down.
didn't want to look at their. Oh.
This is another area that we have to watch with COVID. This is a fingerprint machine that the guys will, and gals and the COs will print people. So we have to have the people who are coming into our jail to wear their masks whenever they get fingerprinted, because we have to really control our environment. If you can imagine, if 90 people in here get COVID,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know what we'll do.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
and many jails across the state and prisons have ran into that. So right now we're doing really well. I don't want to jinx us, I'll knock on some wood.
Yeah, we're fortunate to be in a rural area.
Yes.
But it still doesn't make us immune.
No.
Okay?
No, it sure doesn't.
It's still out there.
So our COs wear their masks all the time. We offer masks to the inmates who are staying here. We encourage them to wear masks down in the dorm. So we go through a large quantity of masks.
No doubt.
So, but we have to do that to keep everybody safe, and you know, we have to offer it to the people who are in our jail too, to keep them safe also. That's one of the main things for the sheriff, is to keep everybody safe in the jail, including the COs, inmates. So that's not.
Yeah. We talked to Jeff Deeks earlier, and you know, his concern is the men as well. I mean,
Yes.
you've got to keep those guys safe.
Exactly.
And just like you guys, you've been out on the streets, you haven't been able to just stay home.
No.
And it was bad enough with the drugs we've had in the
Yes, the epidemic and all that.
Yeah. As far as, you know, you can't even touch the fentanyl, and you guys are very, you know, you've been
Yes.
very safe about that to begin with.
Yeah, we don't do any field testing anymore.
Yeah.
Because we can't have our guys go down. We carry Narcan on here. We have Narcan in the jail for the COs and for anybody who goes down if they've had drugs in their system.
yeah.
And that's one of the main reasons why we stress, if they have had drugs in their system or if they have taken drugs within 24 hours, go get them medically cleared and bring them back.
Yeah.
Which has been a hardship on everybody, but it's something I've had to do for the jail and for our insurance company also.
Hey, and now we've moved inside, and he's going to show us about dispatch, and we might eventually see a cell. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Here we go.
So I'm going to show you dispatch. I'm going to show you, when we walk in here, anybody who knew Peanut Carpenter, this is the other side of the jail. You can enter through the side we went through or through the office, but look at the jail door here when we go through. It's pretty neat. So if you see that painting right there, right? That is supposed to be Peanut Carpenter behind bars. When this jail was built in '94, Mike Shepard painted that painting on there, and that's Peanut behind bars. Our dispatch communications area, they passed it on a 3-to-1 vote, and we are extremely proud of this area. It's a $1 million facility. And if you see here, it's self-contained. This is just the break room area and then the bathroom, so they have everything self-contained in here. And
I'm just going to stay on the line.
they're on the phone right now, so we'll. Okay, this is our lead dispatcher, Jeff Hannon. He's going to tell you a little bit about the protocols we've had to put in place with the COVID, because it's very crucial that we let the first responders know if we think they have COVID, and there's many questions that they will ask. So Jeff, let them know a little bit about that.
All right, so first we implemented the take your temperature every time you come in to dispatch with the dispatchers. We sanitize our desks thoroughly after each shift to make sure that no one else is going to contract anything. We've had to do some different methods of how we take 911 calls. So if you call 911 and we're sending somebody there, you're going to be asked if you have a cough or a fever. Don't take offense to that. It's just protocol now. And then if you do, we alert the first responders, and then they will know that they need to wear a little bit more protection when dealing with someone.
Exactly. And we do that for everybody's safety. We want our first responders to be safe, and we've had a great, the community has been cooperating with us greatly on this. They understand the seriousness of it. We don't need all of our first responders going down with the COVID, because then what's going to happen? Yeah. So that's one implementation that we've done up here with the COVID, along with everything else you have going on here. This facility is state of the art, and it's well worth what the county has passed, because they're getting very good service out of us. So this is our CCW room. We do background checks. For anybody who doesn't know what a CCW is, it's carried a concealed weapon, which we do all the CCWs here, and I actually sign off on your license. But this is why I require you to wear a mask, because this is a very small room, and you got to do it for the safety of everybody, not only my staff, but the people coming in also. So what we do in here is we just we do your background checks in here. We do your fingerprinting in here. We sanitize everything when we're finished. The person doing it on my end has a mask. The people coming in have a mask. But just so you know, we are doing background checks. We're doing fingerprinting. We're doing the full gamut. So we're open for business.
And we're back here with Jeff Paden. Jeff, thanks for letting us come in, man, and give us a tour. All but arrested me.
Oh, yeah, well, I don't have room to put you in, that's why.
Is that what it is? Oh, that's right. You
Yeah.
got too many people now.
Yeah, I'm
You can't
overcrowded.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay. You know, Brian Neff arrested me the last time I saw him on our last segment. He took me off in the car, so.
Did he?
Yeah.
Not good.
Jeff, we've pretty much covered how you were doing your job differently because of COVID.
Yes, sir.
A
Yes,
little
sir.
bit differently, I should say, because, you know, you guys have always had to be safe.
Yes.
Whether a guy's going to spit on you, God forbid.
Yes.
You know, you don't know what he might have had in the past.
That's true.
The drugs that can't be touched now, I mean, you can't even breathe the fentanyl dust.
Right.
It's crazy out there for you
It is.
guys. And now with COVID, it's different again. But
It is. It's just one more element that we have to worry about.
Yeah.
You know, in our field, we do a social distance anyway, because we don't want to be right up close to the person we're talking to, you know, for tactical reasons.
Yeah.
So now we have to really watch that. But when you have to go, unfortunately, you have to go hands-on sometimes, and it puts everybody at a risk.
Yeah.
That's why we continue to monitor everyone, do temperature checks.
And you just, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
You just automatically assume if it's a car accident, you got to get in there.
Yes, sir.
So you just got to suit up, man.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
assume it's bad.
Yeah.
You just got to.
If you have a time to put your mask on, you do it. If not, you just hope and pray you don't get it.
Yeah.
And we go from there. You know, with our guys, our detectives interviewing suspects, and even our deputies, we are taught to get closer to them when you interview. So we've had to change our tactics a little bit with that. But my staff has done a tremendous job. Our 911 center, our jail. I can't give them enough credit.
Yeah. Now you personally, you
Yes,
got
sir.
a family to go home
Yes,
to,
sir.
You know, and they're worried. They've always been worried that you
Yes,
might
sir.
not come back that day.
Yes,
but
sir.
now she's worried even more. You know.
Yeah, you know, and my son Derek,
Yeah.
he's has some medical issues, so
Yeah.
he normally comes in and works with us a couple days a week.
Okay.
I've been keeping him home,
Yeah.
just because I'm not sure what will happen with him. And my other son works at a jail in Muskegon County. It is different when we come home, and you do worry that you're going to bring it home, and so you just got to really watch. And just take more precautions when you go out.
Yeah, and I think we know what the future is going to be. We're looking at it now. It's
Yes, sir.
kind of just keeps getting more and more as they know more about how this virus is contracted. There's different things we have to do. You know, people argue they didn't want us to wear a mask. Now they want us to wear a mask. Well,
Yes.
the mask is to protect other people.
Exactly. It
You know,
is. It is.
I'm out there. I'm susceptible to some of this stuff. You know, but I'm always wearing a mask, and I think that people should do that just for respect for other people, if nothing else. What was I going to ask you in the end? It just completely blew my mind. Yeah. So.
My wife, just so you know, my wife's
Yes.
on the front line of this. She runs the county home.
Okay. Yeah.
And then she has to watch. It's really hard on the residents there. And then also she works at Genesis.
Yeah.
And she's in the COVID tent taking COVID checks. So we got to watch double.
You got a double duty at home,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, right.
So that's just wild. So
Yes.
what can we do as the public to help you do your job more comfortably and safely, and your wife's job as well? I mean, what can we do as public?
Well, I think the thing is just when we do if you make a 911 call and you suspect maybe that you do have the COVID-19, let us know. So our first responders will have that extra precaution. I mean, they're suited up anyway, but they might just do that extra little suit up that they might do.
Yeah.
Just let us know when we come to your house door if you have it. Maybe not come up close to us. Just stay your distance. And we'll do the same unless we have to get closer to a person. But just respect other people's space, I would say.
Yeah. And that's basically the gist of your job anyway.
Yes, sir.
If we all just respected everybody's space, you
yeah.
wouldn't necessarily have to be here.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Other than car accidents, you know.
Exactly.
So anyway, Jeff, thanks for letting us come in. You're a great guy, very personable. Thank you for the tour.
Oh, no, anytime.
And we've only scratched the surface, I got a feeling.
That's true, yes. I have a lot to show you if you want to come down and visit.
We'll be back. We enjoy it. Adam and I love being on the road, and we like getting inside these places where the normal dude ain't allowed to go unless you're in trouble.
Yeah.
and then you're not enjoying the tour.
Exactly. No, you'll be on this side. You won't be in jail.
I'm hoping. Jeff Paden, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. This is a tough one. Yeah.
You have a good day, man. Hey, we're going to head down the road to United Ambulance and talk with Jim Starr, the dude that, he runs it. He's a CEO or something of United Ambulance. And we're going to talk to him. He come in on his vacation day to give us a tour, and we sure appreciate that. We'll see you in a little bit, Jim. Keep tuned.
Talk of the Town will be right back.
The Old Country Loft in Byesville is full of quality country primitives and a whole lot more. Ruth Dixon and her crew bring you the things you need to decorate your home with country charm and warmth. The Old Country Loft, corner of Main and Glass Avenue, Byesville.
Cambridge is more than just a town. This is our home.
Supporting downtown Cambridge means shopping at the places we love with the people we love.
For the stuff we can't get anywhere else.
Food that tastes like home.
And personal service from people who know your name.
The money we spend here will keep our town growing.
Let's all shop small for our town.
The home we love.
And the uniqueness that makes Cambridge
a great place to live, work, and play.
Bundy Law Funeral Home has worked since 1924 to earn the confidence of the families they have served and continue their commitment to the community. They offer a complete range of quality services, from funerals to cremation, and honor all faiths and customs. The staff at Bundy Law understands you need to know all the available options to make the right decisions for your family. A price list is available upon request, and they invite your comparisons. You will make the right choice when you choose Bundy Law Funeral Home.
U.S. Bank is the fifth largest bank in the country, and while being recognized nationally for their strength and stability, they continue to provide hometown service. At U.S. Bank, they provide a variety of products and services for your consumer and small business needs, such as free checking with internet banking, loans and lines of credit, and free financial planning services. At U.S. Bank, they're proud to support the growth and development of their communities by helping local business owners achieve success.
For a show schedule of upcoming guests and to watch past episodes, go to yourradioplace.com.
Hey, welcome back to Talk of the Town. We're down here at United Ambulance. We got Jim Starr, Operations Director. How you doing today, Jim?
Doing real good this morning. Thanks, guys, for coming down. I appreciate it.
Oh, we're enjoying this, man. This is great. We get to all the behind the scenes of stuff you don't see, and you know, it's kind of nice to see what's happening with these different services in our own community.
Yes.
So, Jim, you've been director for how long, did you tell me?
I have been with the United Ambulance Service since November 3rd of 1983. That was the day we opened. I was with Bird Ambulance 2 years before that, and I've been the director since '92.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
And you guys, obviously, you can't stay home like a lot of us are working from home.
Right.
But being the first responders, we really respect that. And things have changed since the COVID virus, haven't they, a little bit?
Yeah. One of our friends at the hospital called it the new normal. You know, we're social distancing. We're wearing all the PPE that you hear about on television, the mask, the eye protection, the face shields, gowns and gloves. We always wore personal protective gear, but not to that extent, and not to on every patient, because we just don't know who's sick.
Yeah, and that's just it. You know, we've talked to the different police departments, if you will, like we talked to Jeff Paden, and he says, you know, if you call in with a 911 call, you tell them if you're sick or something, but you don't have that advantage. You're rolling up on a scene of an accident, something, and like you said, you've always tried to be safe. You got to be careful of those bodily fluids anyway, but now it's even worse, or different, I should say. More intense.
We have a new way we approach patients. It doesn't slow us down as far as taking care of you, as far as your emergency needs. But when we leave the station, you know, we're putting our PPE on. We have it staged in the cab. Everyone's assigned to an ambulance, so you can keep your gear in the truck. So on your way to the scene, you know, the person that's going to have patient care is already gowned up and masked up and face shields ready to go.
Yeah, and that's great. How many units do you have here at United Ambulance?
We have 10. We have, it's cool, we have ambulances here in Cambridge. We have 2. We have 6 here, 2 in Byesville and 2 in Caldwell.
Okay, I thought you had other places.
Yeah.
I know you have the one in Byesville, and that's
Yes,
the first
sir.
office down there. So we appreciate that.
Thank
Reaching
you.
out there. You used to do it all from right here in Cambridge, right?
No.
How long have you had those other places then?
We started down in Noble County, believe it or not, in 1985. We opened this one in 83, so a couple of years after we opened here, we went down to Noble County, and I actually went down to run that operation, married a local girl and stayed.
So that's your vehicle out there with the Noble County plates.
That's right, yeah. I
didn't
live in
realize
Noble
that.
County and come, you know, I used to live here, drove down, and now when I was named a director, now I live down there and drive to Cambridge every day.
Isn't that something else?
Yeah.
And then, of course, in between, we got the couple units in Byesville.
Yeah,
We
absolutely.
appreciate that. I live south of Byesville, so
That's cool, yeah.
nice to have you close.
It's United has we've looked at the needs you know, in the communities, and we've geared up. It's a fluid operation. It's not something you just go buy, you know, a bunch of vans and, you know, we go get people. We're buying, you know, state-of-the-art ambulances from the folks at Medic Specialty Vehicles in Elkhart, Indiana, and they listen to us. We bought their 5th domestic unit, and they have actually a UA number ambulance, which is United Ambulance spec.
Really?
Because, you know, we run, you know, in the city, we run out in the county and out in the country. So there are certain things that we need and certain sizes we need. We need our cabinetry in certain places because all of our trucks are the same. They're laid out the same. You could get out of Medic 44 and get into Medic 39, you know, or whatever truck, and the equipment's in the same spot. So, you know, it's really, you have to put a lot of thought into it, and as technology progresses, like with this piece of equipment behind me, that's a Zoll X series monitor defibrillator pacemaker unit that does 12 lead EKGs. We can transmit your 12 lead from your home into the hospital or into whatever receiving hospital, and the doctor there and the nurses can see that. That's back in the old days, you know, Johnny and Roy in emergency, but this is so much more technologically advanced.
Yeah.
It's all in one, and everything. We don't have to plug modules together. So, and but that's the type, you know, our commitment to the community has never wavered. You know, we treat everyone like they're our mother, our brother, our sister, the thing we love most, and that's how we treat everyone.
Yeah. Now, speaking of the units, a guy on the street wants to know, what do one of these things cost?
Equipped, you're looking at around $210,000 to $220,000.
Wow.
Now we have a really nice unit down in Noble County. The community down there really supports us, and through our levy, they bought us. We have a truck front 4-wheel drive because Noble County is very rural, and some of the places we go to, we have a hard time. So. And that's without equipment. That truck is $170,000.
Isn't that something else?
It's the flagship of the fleet, and the folks at Medics built that for us, and it's a great vehicle. Sometimes we have to walk, but the unit behind you here, this Medic 35, is one of our backup trucks, and we had designated this when COVID started. This is our COVID positive truck. It is completely encapsulated inside, cabinetry. Everything is sealed off, so it's easy to disinfect. And this is for people that we're going to get that are COVID positive or highly suspicious. This vehicle would go on that call. If we get a 911 and we have a positive, we'd move this truck out of the way. This truck would automatically respond. And it would be also used for transferring patients out of our hospital that would need different types of care in Columbus. We also have, we're helping Belmont Correctional Institute. We've signed a supplemental contract with those folks because they have a large populace of COVID patients, And if we would have to help them move patients from the institution to Columbus, this would be the primary truck that we would use. We want to pick one, and completely seal it off with plastic and Gorilla Tape. And we keep all of our life-saving stuff that we need immediately out on the bench. Like in this truck, we have, just some of our trauma stuff. But it's just specifically for those types of patients, highly suspicious or positive contaminated patients. We can't get these things where the patients are all the time.
Right.
Where we have to get in, a lot of the volunteers will have a four-wheel drive truck. We'll have to get in, and we have go bags and equipment specific, and we can just grab the bags and monitor, throw it in a truck, and off we go. We can get you down over a hill.
Yeah.
Or up on top of the hill.
Which is terrifying.
Yes. Yeah.
If you're down over the hill in your car. But
the volunteers in Guernsey and Noble County, I can't say enough for those folks. You have to realize those folks are working every day, day shift, night shift, afternoon shift. And when their alarms go off, they're not being paid. They're going and getting in a vehicle and they're giving 100%. It's just, without them, our lives would be pretty miserable. They're truly the unsung heroes to us.
I grew up with a volunteer fire department up north, and there's 3 now where it used to be 1 volunteer. It's in the green area up there south of Akron.
Yeah.
And the volunteers, without them, like you said, man, what would we do? It blows my mind that somebody's willing to go out there, run into a fire, go to an accident, what have you, and not get paid.
Yeah.
It's their passion. So,
it's in the heart. It's you can't teach that, you can't force it, and you can't pay for that.
Yeah.
That's something that's just inborn, and they have a love of community and love of service.
Yeah, it's just it's a mind blower. I know Jeff Deeks talked about that.
Yeah.
Without you guys out here with the ambulances, they don't transport people. I never realized that.
Yeah.
So we'll probably talk to Jeff again about equipment and needed equipment and things of that nature later on down the road. But you guys are the backbone. You guys are out there, man. It's the United Ambulances. That's who's coming.
Yeah.
In Guernsey, Noble, is that the 2 counties that you cover?
That is correct.
Yeah. So absolutely amazing. Anything else you want to talk about, Jim? You want to give us a tour of the ambulance?
Yeah, I will. One thing I do want to hit upon when we talked about the volunteers, we employ a lot of the volunteers here.
Okay.
So this is their place of employment, and then they go home and they volunteer. And we have people from the Vertical High Angle Rescue section, Swift Water Rescue. You're looking at hazmat, firefighters.
Yeah.
They work here and then go home and do it on their days off. And I just can't say enough for those folks.
Yeah.
We've got folks from Antrim, we've got folks from Lower City, New Concord area, Bell Valley Fire Department, Byesville Fire Department, and these people are they're precious.
Yeah.
They indeed are precious.
And I'm going to drop a name, Steve Helton.
Yeah, my old buddy Steve. We raised Steve from a puppy, actually, here.
When I met him, he was like I'm going to say this, and he's not going to like it. He was a cigarette rep, I think.
Yeah, he
was. When I met him down at the old Chan's Market years and years ago. And then Steve shows up in an ambulance. Now he shows up in a fire truck.
Yeah,
and, carries those mannequins around and teaches you how to do CPR, what have you.
Steve's one of the most committed, driven people I've ever met. He was my assistant director here for the longest time, and I can tell you, outstanding job. I gotta say this: the man was complete. Everything had to be clean. It had to be folded. But I tell you what, that man has a heart that won't fit in the back of this ambulance. They had to move up somewhere that had bigger trucks.
That's why I had to bring him up.
Yeah,
I know Steve as well.
And that smile.
Just a guy, man. He's just a crazy guy too. Watch him on Facebook.
Yeah.
But anyway, we shouldn't let's not talk about Steve much longer.
But yeah, the ambulance, basically, when we roll up, it's kind of cool. We have, back in the day, the emergency room, we just didn't have a lot, and the emergency rooms had, everything we needed, as far as this stuff goes. But now, we have as much or more equipment than we did back when we started in the emergency departments as far as non-invasive pacemaker units, meaning we don't have to cut you or the doctor have to do that. We put the pads on. We can pace your heart if it's going too slow. We can We can defibrillate you either manually or with an AED, 12-lead EKG transmission, intraosseous drill over here in this cabinet. You know, when we can't get vascular access, it's truly a drill, and we drill in to the mericapsule.
You're going medical on me, Jim.
When we drill into your bone with a needle, and we can give you all your medications that you may need. You know, Narcan for those folks, you know, that have overdosed, either intentionally or unintentionally. We intubate, you know, our airways, we carry, I think we carry 4 different airways that we can put in, from endotracheal intubation to eye gels, King Airways. You know, we have all the airways covered. So if we can't use this particular one, we have all of the rest to use. We have duplicates of most everything. We have jump bags here. If we get on something, we can just grab this particular bag. It's a trauma kit. We have our big blue bag up here, and that's what we call it. And this was Steve's deal. This thing, he didn't design it and build it, but he made it better. And this thing has everything we need to treat a trauma, a cardiac arrest, any medical emergencies. The blue bag. You know why we call it that?
Because it's blue?
Yeah. Steve said, if you tell someone to go grab the blue bag, they grab the blue bag.
Yeah.
And we have it locked up in this truck. But we're one of the first in the state of Ohio to have a complete pediatric setup, meaning everything in there is for kids. Kids aren't small adults, they're children.
Yeah.
So it's a yellow bag, so we don't have to worry about grabbing the wrong one. We can go in, we have a pediatric patient, we grab the yellow bag. You know, we don't have to get all fancy and, you know, pediatrics and adult trauma and the rest. It's just a blue or yellow. It makes it easier in an emergency to remember things. And, but I got to tell you, this was Steve's baby here of everything that's in this thing. Now, we have refined it. We've taken a few things out due to protocol changes. We've added a few things, but
that's going with you down over the hill at that
pound for pound. That bad boy is going over the hill.
Yep.
If it's a possible cardiac, this is going with us.
Yeah.
And that trauma bag and an oxygen cylinder. But we have everything. We have suction in here. We have every airway that you can think of. Bandaging equipment, just the latest and greatest, you know, of everything pre-hospital care, because, you know, everyone that we come across, part of our family. Whether you live in Guernsey or Noble County, or you're just driving through, when you're here, you know, I've always said, when you come to Guernsey or Noble County, feel free to run with scissors, because United's here. We'll take care of you. It's one of those deals where I am privileged, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. I'm not just saying that. Every person here is probably one of the best in the country. I would put them anywhere. I would put them up, you know, against any injury, illness, trauma in California to New York City. I truly do work with heroes, and it's an honor for me. They go out and they do all the work. I get to be on television with you guys, but they are the lifesavers of United Ambulance Service. Every person that works here, from dispatch, you know, Darlene that runs our ambulettes, she takes care of those folks, to every EMT, advanced EMT and paramedic. They're just the level best.
Yeah, and we're proud to have you in town. We're glad to have you in town. You know, like I said, you're there. You see an accident, you see something going on, there's a United Ambulance sitting there somewhere.
Yeah, there'll be one or two of us.
Absolutely. So, Jim Starr, anything else you want to touch on while we're here today?
Well, yeah.
Let me ask you how we can make it easier for you during this COVID as the public, you know? Let me ask you that question.
It's just a big issue with folks, these masks. This is a pretty benign item, but it's a lifesaver. And I want to say to folks, you know, it's not the government that's asking you to wear this. It's not the governor, the president, or that. It's us in healthcare. You know, wear these. You may save someone else. You may save yourself or your family or your loved one. I don't think any of the folks will go out and get on their motorcycle without a pair of safety glasses on, eyeglasses. You know, I know you guys are very caring. You drove down here in a vehicle. I know you had your seat belts on. And people that work out in industry, they wear their safety clothing. This right now, until we figure out what this virus is doing, is the best lifesaver, and it's helping us avoid this virus. Wear it, please. It's not we're shoving it down your throat. We're just asking you to be a good citizen and try to help everyone out, because not all of us are as healthy as you and I are, and they have some illnesses that that doesn't allow them to cope with illness, and so it's hard on them, and it takes their lives.
Yeah, and that's,
you know, and that's the bottom line. They're dying, and if this mask will help save, I ask you, please. I'm not telling you, I'm just asking you, help us out. You know, we're wearing it every day at work. It's hot this time of year. It's in the 90s, and our staff's out there, you know, putting it on and sweating, and we're just asking you, when you're around people and you can't be social distanced, please wear a mask. So,
there you go.
Hey,
Jim Starr.
Yeah, I think we got a call.
Director of United Really?
You think so? Hop in, brother.
All right, man. Cool.
You want to say goodbye before you leave?
Yeah.
Well, come on, we got to go.
Thanks for tuning in. Jim's telling us we got to go. I don't know how to shut the door.
Pull it.
Never been in here before.
Thanks, Jim.
Hey.
Bye.
Keep tuning in.
Bundy Law Funeral Home has worked since 1924 to earn the confidence of the families they have served and continue their commitment to the community. They offer a complete range of quality services, from funerals to cremation, and honor all faiths and customs. The staff at Bundy Law understands you need to know all the available options to make the right decisions for your family. A price list is available upon request, and they invite your comparisons. You will make the right choice when you choose Bundy Law Funeral Home.
U.S. Bank is the 5th largest bank in the country, and while being recognized nationally for their strength and stability, they continue to provide hometown service. At U.S. Bank, they provide a variety of products and services for your consumer and small business needs, such as free checking with internet banking, loans and lines of credit, and free financial planning services. At U.S. Bank, they're proud to support the growth and development of their communities by helping local business owners achieve success. U.S. Bank is the 5th largest bank in the country, and while being recognized nationally for their strength and stability, they continue to provide hometown service. At U.S. Bank, they provide a variety of products and services for your consumer and small business needs, such as free checking with internet banking, loans and lines of credit, and free financial planning services. At U.S. Bank, they're proud to support the growth and development of their communities by helping local business owners achieve success.
The Old Country Loft in Byesville is full of quality country primitives and a whole lot more. Ruth Dixon and her crew bring you the things you need to decorate your home with country charm and warmth. The Old Country Loft, corner of Main and Glass Avenue, Byesville.